today on an all-new Dr. Phil. They were talking marriage.
I even tried dresses on and went ring shopping.
But then
Jonathan dropped a bombshell. He's still married.
I'm having trust issues with her.
Are you serious? Your way to make this right is to attack her?
plus,
After his wife lost over 100 pounds, he lost his desire.
I don't like the way I look. The extra skin spills out.
She feels like a different woman.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, today we are tackling not one, not two, not three, but 4 of the biggest and most common issues in relationships: money, sex, trust, and weight. Or as I like to call it, letting yourself go after going down the aisle. So turn up your TV or your smartphone or tablet or computer if you're streaming video, because you won't want to miss what's about to happen today. First up, let's talk about trust. Lisa says she thought she met the man of her dreams, Jonathan, on an online dating site 15 months ago. He was real. After a few months, Lisa says they moved in together, combined their finances, and even discussed marriage. Lisa says she wasted no time trying on wedding dresses and looking for the perfect ring. But just last week, Jonathan dropped a bit of a bombshell. It changed everything. He says he won't be walking down the aisle anytime soon. Why? Well, he's still married.
Jonathan and I have been dating for 1.5 years now. We met on an online dating site. When he first messaged me online, he told me he was married, and I told him I wanted no part of dating a married man.
The reason I was still married was because my wife wouldn't sign the divorce papers.
I told him he could message me once he actually got divorced, and then we could take things from there. A couple months later, he told me he was divorced.
It was a lie.
We were dating for about 6 months before we ended up moving in with one another. In the beginning, I thought Jonathan was absolutely amazing. He's supportive, loving, thoughtful. We talked about getting married. I even tried dresses on and went ring shopping.
As I was watching Lisa try on wedding dresses, I was thinking, oh, I'm still married.
As time went on, Jonathan had become extremely controlling. He doesn't like me going out with my friends or even visiting my family unless he's there. I don't know if he's my boyfriend or is he my dad. He thinks I'm hiding something, but it turns out Jonathan is the one with this huge secret. Last week, Jonathan dropped a bombshell on me, and I found out he's actually still married. I went crazy. I grabbed his clothes out of the closet, threw him in the living room, told him to get his crap and get out.
That night I slept in my truck, and a few days later she let me come home. This was an innocent lie that totally snowballed out of control.
He's absolutely destroyed my trust, and at this point, I feel like our relationship is damaged beyond repair.
Okay. So, are you guys together now?
That's up for debate.
Okay. What you said, you went bat crazy when you found this out. You booted him?
When I had found out what happened, we were laying in bed, and he had told me what happened, that he was still married. I got up out of bed and kind of paced around a little bit, trying to figure out if this was really going on, and then I grabbed some of his clothes, threw them on the furniture, and I said, get out, pretty much. He went and slept in his truck that night. The next day, he slept at a hotel, and that's just been a couple of days ago, so we're kind of in limbo right now.
We sent him a text. Goodbye forever. May you and your wife can reconcile your marriage. I stopped caring about ever getting married. You groomed me to get excited, then you realized I'm not under your control. You responded, I wanted to marry you and for us to have a family. I really wish you could see that. The hell were you thinking?
Honestly, I was thinking, Dr. Phil, I was thinking, well, eventually I'm going to get divorced, so I don't want to ruin things with her because everything was going so great.
So starting off with a lie was a better way of not ruining it?
No, it wasn't, but at the same time, You kind of started off with hiding some stuff too.
I hid some stuff
Yeah, you know,
Like what?
the whole
Like
thing with your friend that was going to come down, that was going to stay with you.
that I told you
That-
about the day that happened.
You told me the day that it happened, but then I found out you had slept together
Years before that.
years before that, but he was coming to stay at your place, and you had been dishonest with me about that. And then even
really bad strategy here.
and then not only that, just yesterday in the hotel room, I said, if I hadn't have found that, had that gut feeling and checked your phone and found that text that you had slept with him,
If you didn't have a gut
You
feeling to
said-
go through my messages a few months into our relationship,
when
you didn't have the
things were
instinct
starting,
and the guts to go
when
through my
things were
stuff and invade my privacy.
Have you ever heard that old saying, when you're in a hole, quit digging? So your response to lying to her about still being married and going with her to pick out wedding dresses is, I found stuff going through your text messages that makes you a liar too?
I guess that's probably not the best thing, but I just felt like she was dishonest with me about the whole situation.
I'm sorry, when did this happen? March or April? Mm-hmm. In October, almost 6 months before that, is when you told me that you had a phantom divorce. So I just want to make sure that we're weighing these things out appropriately.
It is. It's appropriate.
Now you know I am here. Now you know I need help. I don't even know what to do right now.
Oh, I think you do. Are you serious? This is your way to make this right, is to attack her?
No, I mean, it's not. I just wanted everybody to hear my side of the story as well.
Oh, they've heard it. What's your point? You wanted some result. What was it?
I guess the result is at that moment, I'm having a lot of trust issues with her. I just want to know, how could I trust her without having to go through her phone and being controlling?
Are you projecting onto her what you know you're capable of? I'm serious. Is that because you know that you're capable of calculating all this and lying about all this, which I actually don't think you had evil intent. I mean, I was prepared to almost kind of try to figure a way to unravel you from this before I met you. I never know what I'm going to say until I meet everybody involved, but damn. So you lie to her about being divorced, and she tells you once, if you're still married, not divorced, not okay. Call me when you are. So you know it's a big deal to her, right?
Yes.
You know it's a big deal. Drop dead deal breaker, traditional woman. If you're still married,
Not
even on
traditional.
paper, even on paper, call me when it's done. I'm not gonna be over here in the periphery. Call me when it's done. Right? That's what you said.
Yeah, it was
You
very much
broke
my.
up, sit out of here. You get it done, call me.
It was a stipulation, and I said it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved
So
in
you
that.
knew it was a big deal.
I did.
Knowing that, you called her back and said, okay, done. Here we go. Knowing it was a big deal, you lied by omission the first time, affirmatively lied the second time.
I don't think it was quite like that. I mean, we had started dating, had been on a few dates, and then we started really liking each other. And at that point, it's when she said the only issue she had was me being newly divorced, and she didn't want to date somebody who's
No,
separate.
that's not how it happened.
That's exactly how it happened.
No. I told you, message me once you get a divorce. You messaged me in October, November time and said, I have a divorce. We didn't go on our first date until December.
We went on our first date in December, yeah.
But you told
she
me-
never messaged me, and she never messaged me and told me,
Okay,
call me
all right,
when you
okay,
get a divorce.
all right.
She never did. I
We're
mean, that's
we're
honestly,
seriously going to come out here to LA to argue about a month timeline?
No, you're saying October.
All right, October, November, December.
You
You
never
told me you were
messaged me
divorced.
that.
I told you I didn't want to date a married man.
Well,
You never
Jonathan
messaged me
blames
that.
his ex-wife for this whole thing, or soon to be ex, for the predicament he's in now. We're going to hear what she has to say next. You might be surprised.
Jonathan and I have been trying to make plans for a wedding and a life together. Now I feel like I need to be making arrangements to find another place to live.
I still want to get married to her and see her at the altar.
When Jonathan told me he had never been divorced, I feel like I've been living with a stranger.
Lisa and I are broken, and we need Dr. Phil's help to put us back together.
And later,
She lost all of this weight so quickly. She feels like a different woman.
she's not a different woman.
Right.
You find that unappealing.
Yeah.
After I found out Jonathan lied to me, it absolutely shattered my trust. I feel lost, confused, and devastated.
In the back of my mind, part of me always knew that she would find out, but part of me thought I could also get away with it. Lisa should trust me again because I'm a genuinely honest person.
Well, Lisa and Jonathan moved in together after dating for just 6 months. Lisa says they were planning on getting married. That was until last Wednesday when Lisa claims Jonathan revealed a shocking secret. He's still married and had been living a lie for 15 months. Now, just to get this out on the table, we did contact his soon-to-be ex-wife. You're still married, right?
Yes.
Here's what she had to say. I wouldn't sign the divorce papers at the time because we couldn't agree on anything. I don't think Jonathan meant to hurt Lisa by lying. It was stupid. Their relationship has nothing to do with me. I am currently proceeding with the divorce.
Everything should be filed no later than the end of this week.
Yeah. And you blame her because she wouldn't sign the papers, but she didn't make you lie, so you
No,
can't
she didn't
blame
make me
her.
lie.
You
It
chose
wasn't-
to do that.
That's true.
And you're sorry you got caught, because a part of you said, I felt like I'd get caught, but really I thought I could get away with it.
True. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and yeah.
Oh, you're going to try, but you're not. You've already tried to do that. You've tried to deflect by saying she's a liar, because when you started snooping through her text messages, you found information that you thought was incriminating, and therefore you telling a lie is no longer a transgression because you caught her in a lie of omission for something you've declared relevant, which she questions. So you're not really owning this. You're just saying, you know, I lie, we all lie, 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 lie.
How do we even move on past this? Can we move on past this? I don't know.
What are you pretending not to know? Seriously, what are you pretending not to know here? I mean, you have a problem here, right? This is a legitimate problem, and he is, since he's been here, he's told you, I'm sorry I got caught.
When you told me that you were divorced, I took it at face value.
You know, here's how this could have gone. He could have said, look, terrible error in judgment. I really miscalculated. I should not have done it. I truly believe that it was going to come through, and it did not. I should have been completely transparent about it, and I wasn't. Bad mistake, and I own it. I'm sorry. I will get those papers. I will put it in front of her, and I will be transparent till the ends of the earth so she understands that I am not a lying, manipulating person. What he said was, she's a liar because I went through her text messages and I found something from her old boyfriend and she didn't tell me about that. That's what he said. And then he said, the reason I'm so controlling is because I cannot trust her.
The only thing I would say about the whole thing after she threw me out, I was genuinely sorry. I didn't bring up anything about your friend after that. Did I? No, I was genuinely sorry.
You're sorry you were sleeping in your truck.
No,
And you're still not taking it seriously.
I am taking it seriously.
No, you're not. You're dancing around the fact that you completely lied to me and you held the secret for over a year. It was a layered on top of lie. It was your idea to try on wedding dresses. It was your idea to go to the doctor.
No, it was because I absolutely wanted to marry you. I absolutely wanted to
Then
start
you
a
should
life
have
with you.
finished the first one you had.
The best predictor of future behavior It's past behavior. If you want to know if he's going to lie to you next week, you need to find out if he lied to you last week. Now, the only way you can change that is to create a new history. So every day that you're honest and open and transparent with her predicts that the next day you're going to be the same way. Then you get a week of that, it predicts another week. Then you get a month of that, it predicts another month. You made a bad decision. Own it and work your way out of it.
I agree.
You're a good egg. You're a good guy. You're a great father. And it's hard to be sometimes. You know, you got some challenges. You either decide whether you want to have the patience to let him earn the way out of this or whether you don't. I think he's worth the gamble myself because I see all the other aspects of his life that predict the future. If you look at all of those things, he's been a good citizen in the past. It predicts he's going to be one in the future. But you've got to watch this particular aspect.
Okay.
I'd give the boy another chance, but I would make him earn, through transparency, your trust.
Okay.
Thank you.
Coming up, a husband who says after his wife lost over 100 pounds, he lost his desire. We'll talk to them next.
Our sex life was a 10 out of 10.
He said that having sex with me felt like he was having sex with a different woman.
My wife's breasts used to be up here, and now they're kind of down here. Now things just have a tendency to kind of sag.
I don't feel sexy with my husband.
And later,
It's an addiction. I'm a junkie with shopping. When I go swipe the card, I get a rush from it.
what are you going to do when there's no more money? Today we're talking about the four most common problems couples face: money, trust, sex, and weight. In 1 year, my next guest, mother of three Jamie, dropped over 100 pounds and transformed herself into a new woman. Her husband, Chuck, says he preferred her curvier. And now he feels like he is sleeping with a stranger. Take a look.
My husband Chuck and I have been married for 18 years. I've always been overweight, but my husband never cared.
Even when my wife was at her heaviest, 280 pounds, our sex life was a 10 out of 10. We would joke afterwards saying, there isn't anybody in this town who got it that good tonight.
Last year I made the decision that I was going to lose weight, and I lost over 100 pounds. I felt fantastic.
It's been difficult for me to adjust to her new body type.
He said that having sex with me felt like he was having sex with a different woman.
She was very curvaceous. Now she's a very thin woman. My wife's breasts used to be up here, and now they're kind of down here. She's had a lot of issues with her skin sagging, drooping. Now things just have a tendency to kind of sag.
I wear this body shaper because if I don't, like, stuff like the extra skin spills out.
Our sex life used to be great. Now we're struggling. I don't feel sexy with my husband. I want to cover up and hide things.
When you're having sex with a woman, it's about touch, it's about feel, it's about how they look, and that's changed dramatically. I still love my wife very much. It's just been very difficult to accept her body the way it is now.
I just want him to look at me and find me attractive.
Okay, so congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
discipline and your hard work, because you lost a long time. And despite the fact that it's brought about some new challenges, it's a return to health, right?
Absolutely.
You're happy for that, right?
Absolutely.
So what's bugging you?
She feels like a different woman. I'm not used to it. She lost all of this weight so quickly.
She's not a different woman. She's the same woman.
Correct.
You've been married to her for 18 years,
18
right?
years, yeah.
And when you look in her eyes, it's the same eyes, it's the same spirit, it's the same soul, it's the same woman.
Right. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
And let me say, before y'all go attacking him, in all of the pre-interviews, he has not said one negative word about this woman at all, period, paragraph. Not one negative word about her. What he has said is about him. He said, I don't know why, but I'm feeling different. It's affecting me different. he has not criticized her one bit.
No, never.
So what do you think's going on?
I think that this is just a very unexpected side effect of, I mean, there's been so many great things to my weight loss and so many positives. I couldn't even tie my shoes before. And it's been amazing. But I think this kind of hit us out of nowhere. It was like, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, like we're having this issue. You know, our sex life has never been an issue. It's always been great. And so all of a sudden, I think I was feeling self-conscious about my stomach and my breast sagging and like feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't want him to see this. It's hideous. And then he's feeling like, this isn't the woman that I've been with. This doesn't feel the same. And so, and then I'm worrying about how he's feeling and he's worrying about how I'm feeling. And I think there's just so much mental stuff going on that it's affecting the physical part of our relationship.
But there are side effects to losing weight. There's a lot of excess skin, which presents differently, and you find that unappealing.
Yeah.
I find it unappealing.
Well, okay, but he's danced around that.
Yes.
But the fact is, when you look at that, that's a different presentation than what you've seen before, and you find that you find that not stimulating.
Correct.
And you're the same way.
I don't like the way I look.
You know, there's even a term for this. It's called bariatric divorce. It's a term that's been coined because it's so frequent that when one party or the other loses a substantial amount of weight, that it creates such challenges that it winds up in divorce. Chuck says when his wife Jamie lost 100 pounds, he lost his desire for sex. But can the flames be reignited? This is a challenge, but I have some things to say. We'll be right back.
I still feel like I'm heavy.
I mean, you still feel that way.
Yes. So I guess my fear is, you know, what if I do the surgery and what if I still see a fat person?
Closed captioning provided by...
Our sex life used to be absolutely amazing, and now, although it's not mechanical, it's not as intimate as it used to be.
I want to feel sexy again so that I know when my husband is being intimate with me that he's happy about what he sees.
She's more self-conscious around me when she's naked. She also is not as voluptuous as she used to be.
While I was excited about the weight loss, I had no idea how it would affect our sex life.
Now, you would think that, okay, then what I need to do is take it to the next step and go get the surgery where they remove the extra skin. Get a breast lift where they put things back where they were, all that sort of thing. But let me tell you the flaw in that theory. Then you've got really big scars. Then there can be problems with that too. So you've thought of that, right?
Yeah, I had a consultation. I think I'm just struggling with my body image all around. Like my friends that haven't seen me in a while see me, they're like, oh my gosh, you're so tiny, you're so skinny. And I'm just like, I don't feel skinny. I don't, like, I still feel like I'm heavy, not happy. So I guess my fear is, you know, what if I do the surgery and then what if I'm still not, like, what if I still see a fat person?
Which you do now, right?
Yes.
I mean, you still feel that way.
Yes.
You still have an internal dialogue that is consistent with obesity.
Very much.
And you changed your body, but not the internal dialogue. Because you used to say things to yourself when you were 100 pounds heavier, and you're still saying them. And you've got to stop that, or you're never going to change this, because you're projecting a compromised image, and he's responding to that. He's treating you the way you feel you should be treated. True?
Yeah,
And he doesn't even realize it, but you're engaging him that way.
I am.
I mean, you don't love her because of the way she looks.
Nope.
You love her because of who she is and what you've shared and everything you will share.
Yes.
So, number one, you've got to get your head right. And when you get your head right, you will engage him differently. Okay, that's number one. Number two, whatever you do, whether you get this surgery or whether you don't, you two need to do it together. You need to sit down and you need to decide what you're going to do and do it as a partnership. You need to do it as a partnership. Don't you cope with this like it's my body, my problem. No, you cope with this as a partnership. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange for you to have a cognitive behavioral therapist to help you adjust to this challenge and this change. And you need to be part of that. Because they will walk you through how to accommodate this. And you guys will own this challenge together. And when you do, when you're able to talk about it openly and you don't feel like you have to tiptoe around about it, you will get very creative about things you could do. And I don't mean just turning off the light, which is okay too. Whatever, you do what works for the both of you till you get your confidence and comfort level back. But it starts here.
Right.
Fair enough?
Yes.
Can we
Thank
do that?
you.
Okay. All right, coming up, a woman who admits to spending tens of thousands of dollars on shoes, handbags, purses, clothes, makeup, you name it. But her fiance says he's the one footing the bill, and he is tired. We'll be right back.
We're in debt for $60,000 because of my uncontrollable spending.
My credit is destroyed and all of our money is going to creditors. I didn't know the extent of her spending problem because she hid it from me.
Now he watches our checking account like a hawk, but he doesn't have to be such a jerk about it.
Closed captioning provided by Well, I don't have to tell all of you that money is one of the main reasons couples divorce. My next guest, Chandler, is learning that young love comes at a very high price. His 21-year-old fiance, Erin, says she can't stop spending their money, which has landed them in over $60,000 worth of debt before they even get married. Take a look.
I've been living with my fiance Chandler for the last 3 years. Between us, we earn about $90,000.
When I first met Erin, I had a decent job, a new car, and my bills and credit cards were paid up.
Now we're in debt for $60,000 because of my uncontrollable spending.
My credit is destroyed and all of our money is going to creditors.
My spending really started to spiral out of control last year.
I didn't know the extent of her spending problem because she hid it from me.
I was spending $4,000 a month.
The majority of the money was spent on high-end makeup, clothes, and purses. This was hundreds of dollars at a time, sometimes $1,000 in a week.
I have over 50 tops and over 100 dresses.
I love these boots.
I have about 15 designer bags, and they cost about $300 each. I have a few wallets, and they cost about $150 a piece.
I know I don't have something like that.
I also bought myself a $400 watch. I really would like to step up my shopping game and buy about a $4,000 purse, but I know that would send Chandler into oblivion. I have about 4 different credit cards, and they're all maxed out.
I skimmed through our bank statements and saw that she had spent $20,000 in cash.
I love makeup. I started to spend $300 to $800 every time I'd go to the makeup store.
I've taken out 2 loans. 95% of these loans are going towards paying off Erin's debts.
The week after Chandler took out those loans, I went to the makeup store and spent $1,000 in one trip. Now he watches our checking account like a hawk, but he doesn't have to be such a jerk about it.
I try not to have resentment, but I am resentful.
I can always validate a reason to go to the mall.
Okay, first I need to know how you look at this. Do you believe that you need the things that you're buying?
At the time I do. It's
so
gone.
you tell Chandler, I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to spend money. You can trust me here.
Right.
Do you believe her when at first, did you believe her?
At first, but I was fooled time and time again. It just got so bad that I had to tell her what cards she could have, what she could spend, where she could go to spend money, because if I didn't, we would be overdrawn in our bank account constantly.
So let's take a look at some of your purchases. Okay, like shirts and tops, 150, lipsticks, 75, brushes, 75. dresses 70, eyeshadow palettes 60, pants 50, foundation 40, individual eyeshadows 40, jeans 40, powder 5, blush, bronzer 20. I don't even know what some of these things are. But so what do you do with 50 brushes? What are you brushing?
Really, they just get put in a cup and just sit there and look pretty.
Okay. And you're working to pay for this.
Yes, and the sad part is we're both working. She works very hard, and I'm not denying that, but she's not only doing this to me, she's doing it to herself.
Why do you think you're doing this?
I just like the adrenaline. I'm a junkie with shopping. When I go swipe the card, I get a rush from it. It's an addiction. It's just like any other addict. I get a
So you recognize
yeah.
you get a rush from
Absolutely.
it. How do you feel about roller coasters?
Love them, but I can't go all the time.
Huh?
We can't afford to go on one.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
And it's. I feel like there's more to it though. It's self-esteem stuff. I mean, when she doesn't have this stuff, I think she doesn't feel good about herself. And even if she knows it's gonna cost us not being able to pay the electric bill, if she can feel good about herself for an hour, she'll spend the money.
She said, I blame him for not giving me the kind of attention I want.
I can't afford the type of attention she wants.
Let me read you something she said. I wrote this down, I highlighted it, I underlined it, I put red by it, I put 2 arrows on the side of it, because I wanted you to respond to this. She said, I blame him for not giving me the kind of attention I want. I'm the baby in my family, and so I was given a lot of attention, and he is not compensating for that.
If this is the way things are going to go, I mean, I can't afford the type of attention she wants.
Can I comment on that, please? May I comment?
Yes.
During this time of this spending, he's went through a lot of stress and injuries, and I know a lot of that stress I brought on him, but some of the things were not involving me, they're medical related. And during those times when he was concerned about himself and sometimes I think a little whiny, that's whenever I didn't feel like I was getting the attention that I wanted, and that's why I went shopped.
What she's referring to is me complaining about working 2 jobs right after I'd had a motorcycle accident. I was hit by a car waiting to make a left turn.
Okay, so you got hit by a car, and you got pissed off that he was whining about that, so you went and bought some brushes.
In a nutshell.
That's the short version of it. How's that sound when it's said back to you?
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
But what are you going to do when there's no more money? When the credit cards are all taken away and there's no more money?
We're already out of money.
We've been out of money before, and she would sell the makeup and stuff that she had at a reduced price from what she bought it just to go out and buy more makeup.
Mm-hmm. So you recognize it's irrational?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A portion of it, I think, and this is something I've really been thinking over the last few days. About 6 months before him and I met, my grandmother passed away. We were very close, and we bonded through shopping.
And did you do this before? You just did it with her?
Correct.
So it didn't start when she passed. You were doing it before you lost her. You were just doing it with her.
Correct. And it wasn't my money, so it wasn't as big of a consequence. She at least told me no. Like, she would say, this is what you're allotted. You know, go spend it, but this is it. Now that, you know, I'm a working woman now and I've got my own money, I feel like I should have free range to spend and save as I choose.
What you have to recognize here is that you're treating yourself for something. And in my opinion, just from what I know, this is an escapism for you. Mm-hmm. And your challenge is to figure out what it is you're running from. because you can run, but you'll just die tired because it'll catch you.
Right.
And
I don't
you'll
want
die
to,
broke.
I don't want to run anymore. I want to gain his trust back. We love each other, and we've made that very clear to each other, even throughout all this. And he's a real trooper for sticking with me, and I'm never going to deny him that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you call it trooper.
I've gone about as far as I can go with it, though, without us living on the street.
Yeah, well, you're enabling her, and it's not helping her at all. So what do Chandler and Aaron do before they say I do? Plus, what are the top 5 reasons people turn to retail therapy? I'm going to tell you what that is when we come back. Closed captioning provided by... I'm going to talk to you for a second, and I'm going to talk to you. Number one, she has told you straight up you cannot trust her. If you continue to expose yourself and give her access to your funds, you're a fool. You need to shut off your credit cards. You need to fix your accounts. You need to do whatever you can, nail down what could be, whatever you have to do so she cannot bankrupt you, because if you don't, she will. Okay?
Okay.
And here's the bottom line. You do not solve money problems with money. This is not a money problem. This is an emotional problem. Here are the 5 top reasons people do retail therapy. Number 1, relief from anxiety, 43%, relief from boredom, 38%, busy schedule, 27% is work-related stress, 23% issues with partner or spouse. I mean, it's all emotional. These are emotional reasons. This is not, it doesn't have to do with money management. This has to do with emotions. You have to do 2 things. 1, you have to get access to somebody that can help you unpack this whole thing and get it in front of you and deal with it. And number 2, you have to get an accountability source that will control your finances until you get this resolved, so you don't self-destruct in the meantime, which means you've got to get where you don't control your money. You've got to turn it over to him or your mother or a trustee at a bank or a friend that won't let you come, somebody. You've got to get money out of your control until you get this resolved, or you're going to go down in flames. I will get you that professional help, and I expect you to be responsible enough to show up and do the work, and if you don't, I'll yank it out from under you before God gets the news.
I understand. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
You
sir.
have to be responsible enough to do it. I want to thank all of my guests today. For more information, log on to drphil.com. We'll see you next time. Don't let it go today. You can look and feel good without spending a fortune, right?
Yes, and you can do it kind of like my mom used to say, 1, 2, 3, easy as can be.
I've heard her say that a million times.
Yes, yes, and that's how I feel about my nighttime skin recovery routine. That has 3 simple steps. The first step is Foaming Joy, a cleanser that gives you a fresh, clean palette to work on. So right before bed, it cleanses your skin, removes all makeup and dirt with a really gentle foaming cleanser. Second step, give your face a gentle scrub with polish to perfection. It removes dead skin cells that build up over time and leaves you with a healthy glow. And the third step, one of my favorites, is my night cream Hydra Quench. The name itself tells you it's going to hydrate your skin through the night. And then you wake up, it just gives you such joy.
All right, you can order nighttime skin recovery routine with all 3 products at RobMcGrawRevelation.com. And you guys don't have to, because everybody here in the audience is going home with the entire skin recovery routine. All right? We have a great time here and would love for you to join us in our audience. The tickets are free, so just go to drphil.com for the details. We'll see you next time. RobinMcGrawRevelation.com.